I really love that video animation because it makes me feel like I'm Big Brother or this is a really important pronouncement coming through, going live. But I just finished doing an interview with, I, as they called him, an unsung giant of Warner Animation, Sean McLaughlin, and I'm going to edit that and have that out for release this weekend before Halloween. And so I figured I've got everything still set up. I might as well, come back on. So give me a moment as I figure this out to get to the comments in case anybody is watching and would like to make some comments. So I wanted to talk about some content that is on Fanboy Planet. And first of all, of course, this weekend I will have this video interview with Sean McLaughlin, who has a new Kickstarter. He's going to make a short film called The Last Night of the Twilight. And considering that Sean worked on Batman Beyond and Justice League Unlimited and wrote for DC Comics, and oh, by the way, also worked on a lot of Pinky and the Brain and wrote a lot of the Pinky and the Brain comics. It's mixing heroism with humor, and I think well worthwhile. I think you're going to have a fun time watching the conversation between us, and then hopefully going to the Kickstarter and helping to create this short film. I also wanted to point out that I'm kind of back in the reviewing game a little bit, and I saw a great, good horror film last night, Antlers, and the review is live on Fanboy Planet. A written review, not a video review, although I could do that if you'd like. Um, and I have my tickets for last night in Soho for Saturday. I may write a review for that, and I've been thinking about kind of catching up. As for all of us, and many of my live streams have been that it's been a rough, a rough year and a half, and so I missed out on reviewing some superhero films and comic films. So maybe starting to catch up on that as well. But of course, this weekend is Halloween, Sunday night, and I'm excited to be in a house and not an apartment. So, and also in a city where I think the kids are going to come out. I can actually hand out candy. We've got decorations on the front lawn, and we're very excited here at what I call the Enchanted Geeky Room. But I've also got some reading for the weekend in addition to horror films, as I just saw Antlers and last night in Soho, and I've been catching up on other things. Done a lot of favoriting on HBO Max and Amazon Prime to watch horror films. Um, Today, I watched Lamageddon, and that's all I'm going to say about it at the moment. But yeah, but I picked up some books. So I finally ventured back out to Dark Delicacies on Hollywood Way in Magnolia Park, or I guess it's technically outside of Magnolia Park, but it is Del and Sue Howison who drew me into Magnolia Park in the first place. So I love that store, and first time I've been back in several months. I went to a signing and picked up this huge, weighty thing. And by the way, walking back, oh, look at that. The green screen is not allowed. This is but Universal Monsters. And as, of course, I may also say, had an interview with Rich Carell on Icons of Darkness, his exhibit on Hollywood and Highland. And I highly recommend that. And I attended a reception for it last week, and really everybody, we were all just talking about which is your favorite Universal monster. So it's not exactly a quiz here, but I've got a question for you. Which is your favorite Universal monster? And every conversation I had also said you have to take that dark universe side of the equation. You can't say Tom Cruise as the Mummy. I know he's not technically the Mummy in that movie. But he would have been. You know what? It was bad. Which one is your favorite? But this huge book, which actually has an foreword by Jason Blum of Blumhouse, who seems to be the master of horror right now, and so I've been looking forward to sinking my teeth into this. I picked up volume two. I had already read volume one of Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Terror. Man, I did not realize how badly the green screen was going to mess this up. But there you go. It's from Ahoy Comics. And if you're not reading anything by Ahoy, you are missing out. because everything's unique. Even their superhero books are a twist that nobody else had come up with. And as you know, I've read many superhero comics, and I still find what they're doing really original. But they're doing some great science fiction. They're doing in Snifter of Terror, they're sort of adapting Edgar Allan Poe, but they're really just using it as a framing sequence to allow some really clever creators to tell creepy little stories. Some are funny, some are just creepy. And, so very much looking forward to reading this. And the Hollywood Book and Movie Poster store is reopened in the back of a shop on Magnolia called Blast from the Past. And I went by, and they had a huge stack of Dark Shadows novels, original printings of the Dark Shadows novels. And of course, a couple of weeks ago, reviewed the Blu-ray of the Jonathan Frid story. Oh, and also in the store, I've got some more that I have to review coming up from the Film Detective, which I'm really impressed with this company. Like, for movies that the main audience has never heard of, they are putting a lot of effort into restoration. So I've got The Amazing Mr. X. Oh, this does not, well, it does sort of, green screen out. And Frankenstein's Daughter. And this is from the same director who did The Giant from the Unknown. And also interesting that the lead actress in this film is Sandra Knight. So I really doubt that it's the Phantom Lady, but I can hold out hope. So anyway, I've got some horror films stacked up. So yeah, Sunday is going to be Halloween. So another question out there, besides what's your favorite Universal monster, is also what's your favorite candy? And I'll ask because I watch horror more and more, and throughout the entire year. So I've been following Sam Ballard as a young man. I say young man because he's younger than me, but I'd met through doing a radio show. Who has been on Facebook posting 31 days of horror films, like his favorite horror films. So what's your favorite horror film? What do you think I should have seen that maybe I have not? Because I'll admit something, as a kid, my parents really didn't like me watching horror movies because, well, I'd have nightmares. And so I slowly, I kind of am catching up. Like this week, another one I watched, I don't know if you call it horror, definitely a suspense film, 1967, Wait Until Dark, starring Audrey Hepburn and Alan Arkin. And this is a movie that's had this massive reputation my whole life, and as being this frightening film. And so I finally caught up on it this week. I also revived my Shudder subscription and watched Tales of Halloween, which was a great little anthology film, which is fun stuff. And the one that stands out for me is Dana Gould was in one, and really enjoyed that. But so that's it. I hope everybody's doing well and using their powers for good. And I figured to have everything set up, I'll just still have this conversation. So hey, thanks for paying attention, and let me know what you're thinking out there. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking because I have a site. So anyway, thanks a lot. Use your powers for good. Have a happy Halloween. And I'm going to end this broadcast.